is.
Hi,
Hi.
how are you?
I am good. I am big. I am hungry. I am tired. I am ready to pop.
Are you due tomorrow?
I am due to deliver this baby somewhere. Well, it's a Christmas baby. It's due December 26th, but it really
Okay.
could be any time between now and then.
Oh, and I was gonna have my puppy on the call, but
I
my
I
my
try
husband.
not to have her on some of my calls, but it's the best way to keep her quiet.
Yeah.
Otherwise there's like squeaky toys in the background. Who knows what I will do with the baby. So thank you so much for coming on, for being on live, for sharing your time with us. I have a bottle here and 1 o'clock in the afternoon, feeling totally guilt-free about it.
I love it.
I've got the sparkling and I added some frozen cranberries to mine.
Oh
To me,
yeah.
it's like a substitute for um, ice cubes sometimes, but it also just adds a little pep, a little sparkle.
Yes. Yeah.
And I'm also wearing pink because I just think of you and pink, and it's your brand is just so classy and delicate. And you're one of the first non-alcoholic brands that I was introduced to. Um,
That was a while ago.
yeah, it was a good 2 years. I am,
And, I feel like I know you just because of everything that you've shared.
yeah,
Yeah, that
thank
was a while ago.
yeah. Today is officially 31 months alcohol free. So,
Congratulations.
yay!
Amazing.
Thank you so much. So, what I like to do on these lives is basically give you an opportunity to introduce yourself and really the story behind the brand. I think that um, something that I love personally about non alcoholic drinks is uh, to not think about what's missing and think about what has been added or how to make it more of a special, elevated experience, whether that's the glass, the garnish, um,
Yes.
or really even the story behind it, how it's made, um, how it can make you relax, or how it can make you feel just included, right? So, um, I did a poll. I asked a question. I said, "Who's tried Rock Race?" And I put that up on an Instagram, and a lot of people haven't. That answered the poll.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so that's
Great.
that's what's awesome. I know you've gotten quite a bit of media attention, but let's introduce you to everyone here, everyone who's going to watch the replay, and we're going to post this into the Facebook group as well. Um, Basically to tell us the story behind the story, and first just really a little bit about you and where you're from. Where are you from? Where are you coming from
Yeah.
right now?
I am from San Jose, California, but I've been in Seattle for about 16 years. I moved here to work at Expedia, so that was like a big deal for me, very fun. I have a background in marketing and product development, and I never thought I would start a beverage business. So this is completely out of anything I would ever expect to do.
Mm-hmm.
Rock Race, it was a pure passion project. It came from um, uh, it's it came from me, like, alcohol wasn't serving me anymore. I love the wine experience. I love drinking. I love drinking too much. It became like a relief. It became stress management. When I was burnt out, I was drinking, and it was making everything worse. It was making my anxiety worse. It was just I have a nutrition degree, so I've always been very health minded, trying to lead a wellness lifestyle, and it was completely setting me back. And it was the only thing that wasn't really aligned with everything else that I was doing. So I wanted to cut back, and it was hard. It was so hard to find an alternative, something to relax with, something to take a break with. I wanted to, I was so desperate. At the time, there wasn't anything on the market as an alternative. I mean, now there are a lot of options, which is unbelievable. But at the time, I wanted to color water and like put it in a wine bottle and bring it with me, like anything. I just like I was that in need of something. And I was also exploring natural health and beauty remedies at the time that were making me feel good. So I was taking herbs, which are called adaptogens, which are in rock grace, and they were really making me feel balanced. They were taking a slight edge off my stress and anxiety. And I mean, the whole crystal energy thing, which is also fascinating. I'm not a huge crystal energy guru, but I had bought a rose quartz face roller and there was a crystal with it. And I told my son to put it in the bath, and I said, oh, it'll bring you love and joy. And then a light bulb went off. Like, what if you could, infuse your water with crystals? And it ended up being something that a lot of people already did, and they're called crystal elixirs. And I did a couple years of research on the whole crystal energy aspect of rock grace. So the point is, I needed an alternative to alcohol. I was doing all these things that were making me feel good, sort of in the beauty and wellness area. And I wanted to bring all of it together. It's like, how could I bring these experiences that are making me feel good and everything I love, and I'm trying to create this lifestyle that I love, and how can I still have that excitement of drinking and being social, and I don't want to feel deprived, I don't want to feel isolated. During all of this research, I also found out a lot of people don't drink. A lot of people want to stop drinking. A lot of people think they should be having wine, but it gives them headaches and insomnia. And this is going to be so much bigger. That's why I love what you're doing, just to get more people to talking about it. A lot of people don't want to be drinking alcohol. It's just something they're used to. It's culture. It's associated with having a good time. I'm guilty of glamorizing alcohol. I love the glass, the bubbles, the opening the bottle, the pouring it, all of that. And you see in media it being glamorized. And what's neat right now is there's an association that was just started. It's the Adult Non-Alcoholic Beverage Association. So now they're trying to tie adult beverages can be alcoholic or non-alcoholic. They're just adult beverages. So, there's a bunch of companies like myself working towards this vision of having all these choices. It doesn't matter if they're alcoholic or non-alcoholic. And so, there's good things to come.
Oh my gosh, so much good things to come. So much has happened in the 2 years that I've known you. You touched on so many points that are kind of personal to me. One being like to be health-minded and even have a nutrition background, and then kind of have this habit of self-sabotage where you know that you're not supposed to be drinking wine to the level that we may have drank, and enjoyed it. But then we're like, I mean, I remember I would skip meals to make way for the calories that were coming with drinking wine, and then also make poor nutrition choices because I was drinking. And then there's that cycle of guilt and anxiety.
Yeah.
Right. And then we think, oh, I have a solution for anxiety. It's wine. Repeat. I also, when we talk about glamorizing wine, there was a part of me that thought I'd never be able to drink from wine glasses again, never be able to say cheers. And I was a wine drinker. I now have lots of fun with lots of bottles and non-alcoholic beer and all the things. But I was a wine drinker, and I had to go through a grieving process to let go. Oh my God, I'm never going to have wine again. Right. But then here we are. I'm, 31 months later, and it's like, not only can I drink from a wine glass, not only can I open up wine bottles of something similar but different.
Right.
I wanted a similar but different life, so I had to do something different. Your product, even though new products have been released, alcohol removed wines have been released, sparkling wines have been released, your product is still stands out as so unique. And that's why I'm particularly excited about this conversation to share with everyone what makes it unique. Because I'm not holding the pink original that I had, the Rock Race original crystal elixir, but you could say, oh, rosé looks like a rosé, but it isn't, and it's
Right.
more clean, more crisp, more light. You can have it on its own. You can have it as with as a base of a, I want to say mocktail, but I'm going to say rocktail.
Yeah. Yeah, that was by design, and that is ingrained even more in me now, because as someone, I don't drink anymore, and so I'm always looking for good choices. I love Rock Race, but I also want to try other things, and I don't think non-alcoholic wine tastes good. I tried one the other day that looked really neat and sounded good, and it almost made me feel kind of sick, like just that smell of like kind of cheap wine. And I realized, like, I really, really want the experience, that exciting, feel good experience, and that experience of holding a beautiful glass with a beautiful beverage, and just the whole feel that you think you're getting from drinking. It's really not about the drinking. And so many people do know that, but so many people that are used to drinking don't know that. And so once you're able to get into a different mindset, it's really not about the alcohol. And with Rock Race, I also wanted to add functional benefits, so you are feeling like a little bit of this stress relief and a little bit of this, taking the edge off, and something that makes you feel balanced. And then adding in the crystal energy, that's just exciting. It's like it's mysterious, like you don't know what's really going on there, but there is a lot of research behind it. And the adaptogens I chose which are the plant-based herbs, they're very safe. They complement each other. And so you feel at ease drinking something different. And yeah, it's just I didn't want to like mimic an alcoholic beverage. I just wanted, it's its own thing. It's a beverage. It's its own experience. And I was trying to get as close as I could to that feeling that you get of like having a glass of wine, taking the edge off, just being worry free. It's like a lot of times we drink to take that break. It's like an excuse to not worry. And then when you stop drinking, you think, oh, I can't have that anymore. Well, you can, you just stop, and then you need a new and empowering alternative or a different ritual to kind of fill that gap. And at first it doesn't feel quite the same, but then you understand all the benefits of treating yourself well, and you start feeling really good. And
Yeah.
people don't have that. You're almost like on a different level. You're like in a different mindset, and you're figuring out what makes you feel good. And yeah.
And facing stress, essentially facing pain.
Yeah.
But like I say, do you need a drink or do you need a minute? Do you like how often now where I'm just like, it's the same stuff that I had, 2-3 years ago, but like, chugging a glass of wine doesn't make it go away. It delays it. And if anything, affects your thinking for how you're going to deal with the solution for this problem, right?
To deal with.
So do you want to delay it? Yeah, often we do. We want like that impulse. We want that like quick fix. But what I've found by not drinking alcohol and replacing, that chug of wine with a walk, a bath, to sit down, to run, to drink water, drink something else, put something else in my hand, has allowed for definitely a more sense of peace, more productivity, better
Yes,
skin, better body, all those so many benefits, right?
benefits. Yeah.
So tell us about, so you've got the business background, the marketing background, the personal background of experience, you've got the nutrition background. I mean, just check, 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 check. How did you get the recipe right? Like, how did you, I mean, you kind of can do it all. So you're in the kitchen, you're mixing, like you're
Yes,
working with scientists. What do you got going on?
I'm basically going to Whole Foods, buying different herbs that I love, that I've researched. I'm having like different ingredients sent to me. I'm mixing them all together. At this time I don't really have the idea of rock race in my head. I'm not playing. It's just all for myself. I'm just making up these beverages for myself. And there was just one night where I mixed, like I put some raspberry in a mocktail I was making, and I finally got that sense of like, oh my gosh, this feels like having a glass of wine, and it just all clicked. I was putting rose water in my beverages because I was doing that as more of like a beauty ritual. I had all the adaptogens in there. I was adding the raspberry. I was putting it in a wine glass, and I was also making, putting crystals around. At the time I was using like Icelandic water that you buy from the store, and I was just mixing it all together. And I finally decided, I did some local tastings with this recipe that I created, and women really enjoyed it. And then I started hearing more of the stories of women that didn't even have problems with alcohol that wanted an alternative. And I just thought I have to figure out how to do this. And so I did eventually get help with the recipe from someone to help me make it shelf stable. Just a wonderful group of people. They're in Canada, and they still help me today if I want to do any reformulations. But yeah, I gave them what I had put together. It was all what made me feel good. And then just that, hearing feedback from the tastings I was doing, and I thought this is what I need to go forward with. So yeah, it wasn't even meant to be like a rosé. It was just like, that's how the recipe came together. I mean, I didn't know it was going to be pink. It could have been. So
Right.
yeah, and it's almost like this divine drive that like keeps me working on rock grace. I surprise myself sometimes where it all came from, but I do think it's beautiful. It is still my number one choice. I try so many different alternatives, and it's what scratches my itch. And
Right.
so, and I know a lot of women. There's a lot of huge fans. One of my goals was to keep it calorie free, which is very different. I think that's just the nutrition background in me. I didn't want the empty calories, or the sugar from something that wasn't, alcohol or food. So that's where the flavor is on the lighter side. It does have the complexity of the herbs, but if anyone's looking for something that tastes exactly like wine, it's not a non-alcoholic wine.
Right.
So it's really more about the experience and the functional benefits.
Right. And you mention herbs a lot as you talk about adaptogen. I want to mention also that it's not herby, right? Like
No,
I think of when I'm talking about a non-alcoholic gin, we can talk about those herbs, and there's no herbiness to it. It's to me it's just very crisp, clean. Maybe those hints of a raspberry or some kind of berry,
yeah,
but
you
it's
can taste
very
like some of the rose water,
rose water. Yeah.
the Schisandra berry that we use, which is one of the adaptogens. It
Mhm.
it triggers like all five of the flavors in your mouth. So that's where it's like bitter and sweet at the same time. So if you're ever like drink it and you're like, I can't quite figure out what's going on. We did that to add some complexity, so it is more sippable. Like I can't just drink that quickly, even though it does have a little bit of the sweetness from the berries. But
Right. Awesome. So you have 3 or 4 different varietals right now. You have
I have 3. So we have the original, and then
mhm,
there's the ruby, which we added some vanilla, and that one's a little bit more um, friendly on the adaptogen side. We only use one of the adaptogens in there. A lot of people aren't comfortable with the herbs, but we use dandelion and lemon balm to help with them. They have some calming benefits to them. And then there's the sparkling, and then we're going to be launching in February. It's called RG Low, and it's going to have a little bit stronger we're doing a process with the adaptogens where uh, they're a little bit more potent. So you'll get a little bit more of the benefits, but same overall recipe, just a little bit different process of extracting the adaptogen.
wow. So where does the word low come in? Like what makes it lower?
Yeah, so low is just low alcohol. So
Okay.
there's like 0.13% alcohol, which is still non-alcoholic. It's like the
Right.
same as having a glass of orange juice. But it's a little bit of an experiment. I wanted to play on this area of very, very low alcohol, which is still non-alcoholic. And I'm just seeing if more people adapt to that language, trying to hit more people like in the wellness. A lot of our customers are beauty and wellness lifestyle gurus, or they want to lead that lifestyle and they need more tools. So it's a little bit more marketed to them versus someone that needs something like very, very low alcohol, alcohol free, which is what the line of Rock Grace is now.
Mm-hmm.
So the extraction process would add like a 0.1% alcohol, which is, I think it would come out to like 0.3%, which is still very low. So it'd be more, I believe athletic brewing is under 0.5%.
Mm-hmm.
A few of the seed lip, a few of them are at 0.0, but
Right. There are a few,
and
even with
it's
the
not,
spirits,
but
they're really a lot in that.
yeah, it might be for someone super sensitive to alcohol, but we are transparent about that.
Yeah. Good. We talk a lot about that in the Facebook group as well, that there's really and that even you said extraction process, but the brewing or fermentation process, whatever that is, I can't really explain the science, but it can be fluctuate even a little tiny bit, but as
Yeah,
long as it's under that 0.5.
kombucha where it's gonna like go nuts. I mean, it's tested after bottling, but a lot of things with fruit and the plant extracts do have like a tiny bit of alcohol. And uh, yeah, I always was curious about that as well, and just like experimenting on myself and um, just from all my research, and it is safe, but it's up to the individual, of course, and what they're going through.
Absolutely. Um, so you have something coming out in February. It's
Yeah,
Valentine's Day. It's kind of nice.
little fancier, yeah, a little higher quality with the herbs that we're using. So yeah, I'm excited about that, but we're gonna keep all the other beverages going. So
Okay,
that's more of
cool.
a. I'm just curious to see if people like it.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk now, touching a little bit on your marketing brand and branding, and if some of your background helped with that, but also, I mean, just through this conversation, what I visualize from health and beauty and nutrition to relaxing in a bath with a pink rose quartz.
Yeah.
Um, uh, your branding is very spot on with this sophisticated, almost spa-like,
Hmm.
uh, lifestyle, and also, as seen on Desperate Housewives. I mean,
Yeah.
it's classy and, so, well done with that because you're definitely, uh, spot on with that feeling that you wanted to capture in a bottle and in a beverage. Tell me about, I'm thinking, I know where the rock comes from, but Rock Grace as a name and what your, yeah, pointers on the branding that pulls it all together.
Yeah, it was actually so Rock. My son's name is Pete, which means rock, and
Oh,
my name is Anne, which means grace. So I actually
wow.
those two together,
Hmm.
and then yeah, the rock related to the crystals, and the design. I mean, I do all the design work for Rock Grace, so I don't use like a marketing firm or a design firm. Um, my mom actually helped design the Rock Race Ruby label. So
Hmm.
she does invitations and things like that. So I try to keep it very close to home, and not outsource a lot of that. And I guess it's just a mix of like my personal style and people who I've been influenced by. I'm very into Goop, the whole Gwyneth
Hmm.
Paltrow clean beauty. I follow a lot of clean beauty skincare brands. So all of those brands that have made me feel good have influenced Rock Grace in a way. So that's where you're getting that spa feel from. And yeah, I just wanted to keep it clean and classy. Um, and just, yeah, that's fun to me. The whole glamorizing of alcohol, I just wanted to glamorize non-alcoholic.
Well, you're doing it. So I applaud you and thank you.
Yeah.
Um, Tell us. Okay, so right now we're kind of reaching out to a little bit of the sober curious, those who are interested in mocktail mixology and non-alcoholic drinks. Would you say that your largest audience is more of those who are not drinkers or just those cutting back or really just, it sounds like from to me a blend, and that you're maybe going to reach out to more, like on platforms like this to the non-alcoholic audience, but
Right. Yeah, it is a blend, but we are definitely more of people not trying to drink during the week.
Mhm.
People working hard to lead a beauty and wellness lifestyle. And I do think the sober curious and um, the folks that can't drink for any reason or just wanting to not drink for themselves, I think they do fit into that larger audience of people wanting to lead a wellness lifestyle because
Mhm.
I'm a hybrid of both, and so um, yeah, but definitely people trying to drink less, um,
Mhm.
and they're just finding it really helpful to have that alternative. And I think we all do need an alternative to change
Yeah.
and
Are
to
you
and still enjoy life. Like I think that's how I am with so many different things. It's like once you found that alternative that makes you feel good, it's so much easier to change and have this mindset that you're not deprived or different or yeah. And I think people would find out that so many people don't drink, and you can create a beautiful lifestyle even better. I mean, you're not drinking, so you're just like there's so many benefits to it. It's crazy.
right? Are you sold in like in spas, or have partnered with spas? Because I have always I used to love getting manicure and pedicure around here in Charlotte, and they're like, here's your free wine. And then spas, you often think about, got to start with the bathrobe and the champagne. Are
Right.
you in spas? Because
Um,
it definitely has a home.
yeah, no, we aren't in a lot of spas because we were working on that sort of right before COVID hit. And so then so we're revisiting all of that, and that's definitely a goal because yeah, I mean, you get offered wine at spas all the time, and now I realize it even more than when I
When you're not drinking.
drinking. Yeah. Oh my gosh, and there's really nothing else. There's tea, but it just doesn't feel as special sometimes.
Mhm.
So yeah, that's definitely a goal of ours. We sell mostly on our website, and that's been successful for us because people can go there and read more about the product so they know what they're getting. And then, yeah, we still do have plans. I am just really a one woman show. So
Mhm.
I don't have a team. I have people that help me make the beverage and fulfill. But in terms of business development and distribution and all of that and marketing, it's just myself. So yeah, I'm still trying to figure out how where I want to focus my energy to grow. But yeah, I'd love to do that.
Yeah. Well, I think it fits really well, which leads to the next question of where people can shop. And so we're directing people to your website, which is super user friendly, real
Yeah, the
easy.
best, and then it gets fulfilled from where we make it, and our bottles are stored with crystals there, and it's just a very clean process to do it that way.
That's perfect. So we have with the On the Mox community, we do have a discount code, which is really encourages people to try something new, right? Like often shipping gets into the way or whatever other excuse, but try something new and
Yeah, we do offer a lot of free shipping on our products. I do all the customer service, so I'm very lenient if you don't like it. So don't
right.
like buying it and not liking it. I really want you to like it. I'm only doing this for you to like it. I'm not doing this to make money. It's just pure passion I relate. It's from my own needs. Um, I want there to be choices and alternatives. I can't wait for there to be more options in restaurants and um, you know, yeah, there's a lot there. I mean, it's such a cool time for anyone that does want non-alcoholic options because there's so many passionate business owners right now, and we're actually coming together.
Yeah.
We're not being competitive, and we're coming together to bring um, kind of this world to life in restaurants and spas and stores
Mm-hmm. And online. Yeah.
yeah.
Well, fantastic. Thank you. I will drop the link and code down below. Again, we'll be sharing here. There's a highlight on the on Instagram here with Rock Race that was some of our stories from the.
Great.
If you guys have any rocktails, any recipes that you guys are trying out there, tag us so we can share them with others.
Excellent.
Thank you, Anne, I
Thank
just
you
love
for
hearing.
what you do, and thanks for just spreading the word of all these wonderful brands, and we all really appreciate it.
Oh, thank you. Well, I am a product of the product. I say that because I truly like these drinks like yours keep me sober and centered and included. So I appreciate that. Is there anything else that you would like to share to wrap things up or that, you
No,
know,
if anyone wants to reach out to me, I don't know the best way that you could share my contact information, but I want to hear from everyone that wants an alternative to alcohol. about what you're looking for or like what you don't like about rock grace. I want to create the best non-alcoholic beverage there is. I mean, I love rock grace, but I want to hear what everyone needs and wants as well. And it'd be wonderful if I could incorporate that in some way in what I do.
That's awesome. Well, we'll definitely drop that question out there to everyone that joined us live. Thank you so much for your time today in the middle of the afternoon on the East Coast and a little earlier on the West Coast, and everyone catching the replay. If we get any comments or questions, we'll pass them on to you, Anne.
Great. I'd be happy to answer them, entertain them, whatever helps.
Yeah. Thank you so much. I'll see you online.
No one.
Thanks.
On the way. All right.
I know. Bye.
Bye.